Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone around the world, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the Highbury Squad. It's the Lockdown Series, Volume 2, Episode 58. And today we're handing out some Wednesday wisdom, and we're also paying homage to an absolute Arsenal legend. It's a very important day in Arsenal history. It's 20 years since the passing of a legend, David Rocastle. And I couldn't think of a better squad to have around me to talk about him. Welcome back to the show, PG.
Hey.
And also Super Kevin Campbell.
Bow!
Yeah, love your top.
That is going to have to be a screen grab, Kev. That is an epic top. And it's no Gooner that did that for you, right? If I remember correctly.
It was. Yes, it was. I got the hoodie and I got the long sleeve T-shirt. And, I'm always trying to represent Rocky the right way.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely. Completely. A player that was taken from us way too soon, born in 1967, passed away in 2001. Today is the 20th anniversary of David Rocky Rocastle's passing. He gave us so much joy and pleasure over the years. And PG was there from the get-go as a Gooner. And then, of course, Kevin being one of his besties. We're going to go down memory lane, you guys, and we're going to talk about some things. It's Wednesday Wisdom today. It's a little bit of a mixed show. It's been a bit of a tough week, but I think this is a beautiful celebration, Amanda, of a great life and a life that not only gave to family and friends, but also to fans like yourself. What's going on here? The young PG, Kev.
Baby PG.
What is going on here?
Oh, do you know what? I honestly did not remember I had that picture to a few years ago. And that was, Kev, that isn't the same night I met you.
No, it's not the same night. No,
it isn't, because I wasn't wearing that in the other picture. This was an Arsenal event, and weirdly, someone tweeted me today and was with me that night. And he said, wasn't it a great night? And I went, oh, yeah, you were with me, weren't you? From 1987, 88?
Was that 87, 88?
Oh, I don't know, Kev. How old was I there?
It was early. You're probably about 17, 18 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably about 17, 18.
And I mean, look at his smile. And every picture I've seen today of anyone with Rocky that's the smile he had in every picture. It was emotional meeting him, but obviously he was just at that time an Arsenal player, and I had lots of pictures done. I've got lots of old pictures from that night. Ian Wright, Alan Smith, there's loads actually. And one day I'll send them to you, Sophie, and you can put them on here.
You see some of these comments I'm putting up as well.
I was hot sauce, not anymore. I was. No, that's not the best picture of me, but I don't care. I've got one with him, and it just. Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Memory,
Jennifer Rush. Yeah,
it's a great memory.
It's something. Oh God, I look really old now looking at that picture.
I was like, should I just, maybe I'll leave, you could just like go on wax miracle. What's happening here, PG?
What's happening was, I remember the night. It was an event in London, the Empire Rooms. I remember, yes, wow. It was the Empire Rooms. It was I think a Christmas something. I'm not sure, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Shame the other guy that was with me is not on this tonight. And we got to have pictures with the players. It was, as we all know, the connection then was very different to the connection now. Everyone was. And I mean, if I ever get the courage to put me and Kevin on this picture, I look like a boy in the picture I took with Kev. You realise how lucky I was. And I've got some great pictures. And I remember just listening to Ian Wright and Paul Merson talk, like, I was like a young girl, like listening to him.
That couldn't be 80s then.
No.
Well,
If Ian Wright's in it, that could be 80s.
And
okay, so then maybe I did a couple of events.
Yeah,
so
I'm thinking that
I
one
think-
was
I think
early.
Kevin's right. I
was.
think you were like 18 there.
the one with you,
Yeah.
Kev, was later.
I think the one with me was either 90, 91, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, Righty came in 92.
Oh no, then that wasn't that night. Definitely not that night.
Righty came in 92.
So I've got no clue, but that's definitely not the 90s. That is an 80s
that's
hairstyle, if ever you've seen one.
That's 80s. I know that.
The big earrings as well.
Love it.
Yeah, late 80s, was 87, 88. Anyway, it was a Christmas event, an Arsenal event. I don't know what went on. I don't understand. I don't remember any of it. I honestly don't. But meeting Rocky was just so special. It really was. And he had that smile. He took pictures with everybody, and he just was lovely to everybody.
Yeah. I mean, his smile was undeniable, and his personality too. And the fact that you got to meet him and get a picture taken with him, he's indelible in our hearts. And
I've also got, go on.
That Kev
it's beautiful.
shared.
Yeah, that is
beautiful.
lovely.
Fantastic.
I just love this so much. And seeing Wright's post today in the piece with Saka, wearing the number 7 shirt. Kev, go on, PG. Finish up. No, you finish up. Go on.
Okay, that's what I was going to tell you. I received a DM tonight, and it's to do with that. Let me just read it a sec. Hold on a second, and I will read it. Sorry.
Hi, Julie.
You say hello to everyone and I'll read it. So a good friend of the show, Gooner Hilsey, is a good friend of mine and a good friend of Kev's as well. Hilsey the Gooner sent me this and he said, "A thought for your show tonight, Princess. Our current number 7 reminds me very much of Rocky. He acknowledges fans, has the club in his heart and knows what he represents. I'm so emotional today for more than one reason. Very unlike me, but I don't care. And we don't care either. And I love that, Hilsey. And very true when you think about Saka, then that will lead you on to what you were just about to talk about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think that when you look at today's Arsenal and you're trying to find new heroes, we were very spoiled, especially our generation, right? Generation X. And I know the Wenger generation was spoiled too, because the Wenger generation witnessed the Vieiras and the Henrys and all of these other legends. And in our generation and in the new generation, there's this young fella who's so special and so unique. Yeah. And I think he's so special and so unique for many reasons. Of course, he's wearing the 7 shirt worn by legends like Pires and Brady, but he's also someone who loves the club, and you feel that this kid loves the club. And so when you juxtaposition him, to the era of the past, he gets it. And that piece with Righty about Rocastle and the fact that Rocky wore that 7 shirt too, Kev, and connecting in that way, I think it just underlines why we love Saka so much, and that being a kid and going into the Arsenal Academy and the David Rocastle Centre, they're taught that. I love that the club teaches them that pedigree and history from a young age.
100%. And, it's really important for Arsenal, young players who are trying to make it in the first team and players who get in the first team, to have that same mindset. Remember who you are, what you are, and who you represent. This is this is the fabric of Arsenal. And I know us fans sometimes get a bit frustrated when we don't see it or we don't connect to the team, because we get frustrated because we know what it's like. As a player, I know what it's like to connect to the fan base. I know what it's like to have a squad who's connected to the fan base. I know what it's like to go to them functions that PG mentioned and to see the fans buzz because the players are going over to the tables and speaking to the guys and pictures and signings and all this. Everybody kind of knew each other. That was the uniqueness of it. And I think we're getting it back a bit with Saka and Smith Rowe. Obviously, we hope there's a conveyor belt coming. But that's why we hold on to Saka and Smith Rowe so much, because I think it's kind of a throwback from the past. I really do.
No, and it's so important. Identity and football is a huge thing. So many of our life memories are built around football. We can attribute moments in our family's life to, hold on, who were Arsenal playing that year? Were we in a final? Where we, it's just a beautiful part of our lives and kind of how we've lived as fans and stuff like that. So to see the Saka connection, I just wanted to point that out and say that was an amazing thing. Thank you, Tony, for retrieving my phone. I have to put up a picture that Darren Arsenal sent. So I'll get to that eventually as well. But Kev, I wanted to take you back a little bit, and a little bit like Tony Adams' comment about play for the shirt on the front and they'll remember the name on the back.
Play for the badge on the front and they'll remember the name on the back. Yeah.
There's this too from Rocky. It's so poignant even today. And remember who you are, Kev, and you guys, you South London boys did.
Listen, let me just tell you this. That statement there got drilled into you as a kid from the first day you walked in that Marble Hall. That statement there, I'm telling you now, and you could ask anybody up from that era who went to the club, this is what you knew. And there was no bigger exponent of it and person who championed it than Rocky. Because he was an Arsenal man. We were all Arsenal fans, but he was an Arsenal man. Everything was Arsenal. And I can't say that enough. Honestly, I can't.
So, Kev, I want to take it back here, PG, because you were in the stands, bless Kelvin. He dragged your ass through the turnstiles, threw you over them a couple of times.
So you could, 4 years old.
So you could go in and abuse innocent Kev, just trying to start out his Arsenal career.
I was watching football before I saw Kev on the pitch, and then when I saw Kev, I went for it.
You still abuse me.
Today's a very important day. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We know there's football going on tonight, but we appreciate those of you who've joined us. We're remembering Rocky, and we're remembering a lot of fun stuff about what it is to be an Arsenal fan. It's a poignant week. I want Kev to tell us about this day. And we featured this in Kev's 50th birthday, but look at this crew, PG.
I mean, you'd think when you're a bunch of misfits, look at them, but you know what? You just look at them.
There are misfits. That's the thing. There are
exactly. But do you know what? Do you know what? You can't see me at the moment. I've got the biggest smile on my face looking at them all. Because honestly, I was laughing, thinking each one is so special to every Gooner. Not only me, everybody, each one. And the fact that we have this man on every show is just wonderful for us. Because
that was England training. We were with the England. We went away with England.
Our boys, England.
There weren't many teams have 5 players from one team who went to the England squad. So, the press wanted to have a picture with all of us, and there we all are.
I love it. I love it, Kev. Brilliant. I really do. I love it. And I just wanted to put this post up because they're coming in. Clive, thank you for joining us and sharing your story. Your wife passed away in 2001. Your son and you were at the Spurs game. The announcement about Rocky was doubly sad. Listen, Clive, this is what's beautiful about the Arsenal community. We've all loved and lost. And the fact that you're able to share that and such a difficult loss, life-changing. And then, it's hard, Kev. It's hard. You have a lot of people that approach you in life also. And we talk to fans every single day that, struggle with loss, and it's not easy.
Yeah, listen, let me just say this. Sorry to hear about the passing of your wife back then, Clive. But it goes to show us human. We're made of some stern stuff because you have to fight. And I know it's difficult, but you find strength from somewhere to to pull through, and you will never ever get over it, but you just have to get on with it, don't you? You know, that's the thing. We miss people we lost so much. Rocky being one of them. Honestly, I couldn't even go to the funeral because I couldn't see him being put in the ground, for instance.
No.
That's not what I wanted to see.
No.
And you know, I don't really share that with people, but
that's a big share, Kev. Tell us what is that in general for you, or just with David because of the impact he had on you?
Yeah, it was, you know, the impact Rocky had on me was so profound coming through the ranks. You got to remember, I was like the little brother. Do you know what I mean? To Paul Davis, Rocky, and Mickey Thomas. I went to school with Mickey Thomas. Mickey Thomas, 3 years older than myself. So they know you're coming. You know, you see them at London Colney a little bit, but I'm not in there. Like I said yesterday, you just want to be in their company all the time. You don't get a chance to be in their company. Then you join full time and you're around them, and you just, you know, they're just brothers to the end, I swear. And there was no better brother than Rocky. Rocky just always looked after me. He always said to me, you know, if you're ever struggling or anything, just let me know. And there was times where I was training with the first team, and obviously I haven't got a car or anything like that. I'm traveling from Brixton, and if Rocky ain't in Brixton, he used to say, "All right, well, meet me here, and I'll come and pick you up." And he used to go out of his way to pick me up. You never forget, you know, as a young player, you never forget things like that. You never forget things like that. And, you know, somebody always looking out for you, always got your back. All of those boys in the, my older brothers in that photo meant the world to me. But, you know, the only one who's not here, you know, to share good times and memories is Rocky. He's the only one who's not here. And it's so tragic that he's not here.
Yeah. Do you know, I was on a podcast last night, not this one, just before we started last night, talking about Rocky. Everyone's talking about their memories of him. And I found really interesting something I didn't know, that obviously we know that the knee injury affected his playing career. But he got the knee injury in 1986 and he played on for years.
Through it.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was more early 90s he got the knee injury, late 80s, early 90s. God, what he only played through. And second of all, what if he didn't have that knee injury? What sort of player would he have been? I mean, he was fantastic anyway, to play through the pain and everything. And then he's just, honestly, one of life's inspirations, isn't he? Just
and you know, PG,
in all round, Kev, his personality, being a father, a friend, the way he treated you, you know, the way he treated us fans who he didn't even know.
PG, you know, you never heard one moan out of him.
Yep, I can imagine.
He always trained.
Yep.
Nothing stopped him training. He always had a smile on his face. He was always up for the battle, and he was just generally top quality teammate.
Look
so you wouldn't even have known. I mean, I wanted to, because when you're in the youth team, you wear or the reserves, you wear the blue tops, and the first team had the red tops. So it's a race to get in them red tops. You know what I mean? It's like it's a hierarchy, isn't it? You know, you're scratching to get to the top, and you know, the words of wisdom from the lads were special, honestly, so special.
And it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, you often, you know, some players are so split in fan bases. You look at Ozil and stuff, you know, whatever. Not one person, not one. And I'm telling you, I've had messages from other clubs, fans that he played for today. They just feel as sad as we do, you know, and we did have the best out of Rocky, but they loved him as well. I think it was my City friend today said the same thing. I mean, it was just, you never, ever heard a bad word about him, ever. even when in his playing days. And obviously there were times we took him for granted because we didn't know what was coming, like we did with you and all the players, you know.
Well, it's part of football.
Rocky's injured and his knee again, and the story when he was told he was off, he just was distraught and crying and didn't want to go. And the fact that when I still go, we go back to the Emirates, hopefully August time, and we still sing his song. What does that say about that player? What he means to us that we still sing Rocky's song?
It's amazing. He was born in Lewisham, of course, in 1967, May 2nd. His birthday's coming up. A 5'9" midfielder, Kev. Joined in 82. His youth career at the Arsenal started in 82 through 85, became a pro in 85, played for the Gunners through 92 before, as PG said, he left the club. But, he won the First Division twice. He won the Football League Cup once, the FA Charity Shield. He actually went on and won the Charity Shield with Leeds United as well. But indelible in our hearts as an Arsenal fan. I want to go back a little bit to these moments and these kind of nights. This is pretty special.
That was a whole week. That was a whole week. Let me just tell you, that was a whole week, because there ain't many times you win the league in time with games to spare. We had games to spare. And George Graham just said, I don't even want to see you boys until Friday. I don't want to see you, until Friday or whatever. And we enjoyed it. We enjoyed our time together, because you know what? The regime to win is hard. And we battle about winning that silverware. Silverware is hard to win.
Yeah,
it really is hard to win. And sometimes, we could play it down a little bit like, an FA Cup's not quite a league. It isn't quite a league, but you know what? To win trophies is hard no matter who you are. And to share it with that band of brothers, and we all felt the same. We all got on. George Graham, as difficult as people think he was, he always said to us, it's either none of you go out or all of you go out, because I don't want any cliques. And there was no cliques. The two South London boys who joined Arsenal together, there they come in. There they are with the Anfield night, PG, the Anfield night, which was so special for us.
Oh, I've got loads of pictures with David in them.
I love this picture.
Yeah,
so
Great
much.
Picture.
He cuddles Adams like we would, like my captain. Look at his face. Look at that smile on him.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Proud.
And this is indelible too. I mean, that shirt, the time. I tell you something, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but let me tell you something. If there are certain players that were born in eras, right? And there are some players that could play in any era.
Any era.
He's one, Kev. You throw him into any team, any era, he can play. No problem.
No danger. No danger. No danger.
A total athlete.
If you remember rightly, PG, do you remember when he got into the team? He got into the team in centre midfield. And nobody could believe the ability he had in the centre of the pitch, the way he could pick the ball up and beat people and drive up the pitch. It was like, who's this?
I know.
It was incredible.
We were like, he's quick, he's skillful. Who's this? Yeah. But you know what? And also something else I mentioned last night. He is lovely. He's a wonderful man, everything. But on that pitch, he did have bite. Do you remember that bust up with Norman Whiteside? Exactly. That lovely smile.
Rocky would not shirk any challenge.
Like the silent assassin. I loved it.
PG, I don't know if you remember, we played Nottingham Forest. And Stuart Pearce, for about an hour, kicked lumps out of him. We were attacking the North Bank first half, so Rocky was on your side.
Yeah.
And Stuart Pearce kicked lumps out of Rocky. And then before you know it, Rocky hit Stuart Pearce. And then it was like a battle. And Stuart Pearce, obviously, I when I left the club and I went to Nottingham Forest, the first thing Stuart Pearce said to me was, you know what? He said, I tried to unsettle that Rocky, but he's a tough piece of guy, that one. He said, and when we go with England, he said, I don't even bother. I say, Rocky, I can't deal with you because Rocky
that's
mentally
hilarious.
so tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Such
but that's
strong
exactly.
player.
But other fans would look at him and go, "Oh, isn't he nice? Isn't he a nice player?" But he was everything we're saying. But he had that bite that he would not let anyone get away with it. He wasn't a soft player, but he looked like a soft human. You know, he was so compassionate, and you know, I'd love to remember my conversation that night with him, but I don't, and I wouldn't sit here and say I did. I just remember saying, "Can I have a picture done with you, please?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." And I wanted to talk to him more, but everyone wanted their picture done with Rocky.
Some of your favourite goals, Kev, Rocky, the Liverpool goal. I mean, he just had a technical ability that not a lot of players from England had at the time. And some would argue that at the time, maybe he deserved more in terms of being able to play for England. A little bit like Glenn Hoddle, maybe, Kev. Some players just are ahead of their time. Do you think Rocky was ahead of his time?
Was he ahead of his time? No, I don't think he was ahead of his time. I just think players like that transcend time. Because he's a natural athlete, he's naturally gifted, and he could play, as you said truthfully before, he could play in any era. You know, we talk about players, what they would be worth these days. I mean, if ever there's £100 million player, that's him right there. Because somebody who can not only have the technical ability, but he's got that toughness and that will to win. And he's one player who makes people around him better. We talk about it on here quite a bit. You know, what could we give to have him beside Thomas Partey in the centre midfield?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah. So, you know, it's listen, I just love celebrating his life, because 20 years is a long time to be without a special guy like this. And,
it really is.
I'd love celebrating his life.
Do you remember the Villa goal, the chip?
The lob.
Yeah, the lob. Sorry,
the
not
lob,
the chip.
yeah.
The lob.
And Derek Mountfield gets caught in the net. Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I love this clip too. This is against Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's Steve Perryman on the floor, I believe, Kev.
Looks it, doesn't it?
PG, yeah.
No, that's Gary Mabbott.
Is it Mabbott?
Yeah, no, that's Mabbott.
That's Gary Mabbott. Yeah.
That's Martin Hayes, isn't it? Next to
that's Martin Hayes. Yeah, that's Martin Hayes. It was Gary Mabbott and Richard Goff were the centre halves that night.
Right.
Yeah. Great stuff. Brilliant stuff. We're remembering Rocky here. And Darren, I love this piece of art. We wanted to put this up, everyone. You know that we include our listeners in everything that we do. And Darren put together this little piece with Rocky overlooking today's Arsenal. And I just loved it, and I just wanted to share. So thanks, FIFA boy Darren, for sharing
really
with us as
really
well.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know, it's the smile, it's moments like this with his buddy Righty. It's
that was Righty's first league game.
Your memory is amazing, Kevin. Your memory is amazing.
Southampton. I remember because I was on the bench.
Southampton.
And that was the first time they wore the yellow shorts with that bruised banana kit.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Right, he got a hat trick that day, and Rocky scored the fourth.
Yellow shorts. Look, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, yellow shorts. Yeah.
It was rare. The yellow shorts weren't as common. It was a rarity. Yeah, for sure. Well, look, you know, you talk about legends and stuff like that. Another great picture here, Kev.
The boys, look at the boys. Who's that in between Martin Hayes and Michael Thomas? You see that blonde lad there?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So who is that, Kev?
Hold on.
Do you remember I mentioned him on
You did.
previously?
It's gonna kill me.
I think it was Icelandic. Siggy Johnson, that is. That's
Is
Siggy
it?
Johnson. Yeah, that's Siggy Johnson. Yeah. He was funny. He was funny.
You can bet your life that Perry Groves has been naughty.
Always. He's probably winding Siggy up, wasn't he? Look, he's looking at him there, and he's probably winding him up.
Look how young. Jeez.
Baby
Paul
boys.
Davis.
I'm shocked, Kev. There isn't a picture of you and Rocky with your wig on. What happened there? Where did you fail? Like,
No, the problem was Rocky wasn't at the club then.
No, he'd left. I know.
He'd left. I know.
Teasing,
I could guarantee if Rocky was at the club, I would have had 100 with Rocky because Rocky would have loved it. Honestly, Rocky would have loved it. Rambo, let's have it. Come on, let's do it. He was lovely, you know. Do you know 89? I tell you about he picked me up and we went up to Anfield and we won. And we came back and we walked the ladder up on the step.
Did we?
Just a little bit. Yeah, to win the title. And it's weird because the taxi journey back from Highbury to Brixton was something to behold because you could imagine it was a lovely day. It was a lovely weekend. It was a lovely day. We've got the windows down. And like you're driving through Islington and people are like triple take it. Rocky, how you going? And Rocky's there, you know, we're chatting out the window, we're singing songs out of the car. We get to Brixton in the local where I live, you know. I said, Rocky, you're gonna have to come in for one. He goes in the local for one drink. You know, gets my mum. We get my mum. I go around and get my mum, and my mum comes round Saturday afternoon. You know, we get in there.
But you mean your mum, the dancer right here with Brian Marwood? PG, have you ever seen this picture? Kev's mum dancing with Brian Marwood.
My God, look at that. That's fantastic.
How epic is that?
You need to check your WhatsApp. I found 2 more pictures I didn't even know I had. Have a look. See if you want to put them up. Oh, look at your mom.
But that was the squad for you. The squad were all in. And one thing I will tell you, my mum done a Sunday dinner because the boys said they want to try some Caribbean food. So my mum done a Sunday dinner. And just imagine this. You got like 3/4 of the Arsenal team in Brixton at my mum's house in Brixton.
Oh, brilliant.
Obviously had to keep it quiet or else the roads would be blocked. Yeah. But the boys are there with trays on their lap eating the food. It was brilliant, honestly.
See, now, if you would have been now, we could have had FaceTime with all of you.
Yes.
But we never had phones in those days.
No, there was none of that.
Kev,
yeah,
Brian
Marwood He made a massive difference. His crossing was so pinpoint. He made a huge difference to the team.
We had Brian Marwood on the wing. Oh, I love all those songs.
It was such plays like him and Martin Hayes, like so unsung in so many ways, right, guys? I mean, they were so
Martin
important.
Hayes scored the odd, very important goal. He really did. Yeah.
Well, don't forget, in that 87, Martin Hayes scored 20-odd goals.
Yeah, you know, I never really...
That season. 87, I think he got 20-odd goals that season. And then, obviously, slowly, if you remember, here's the weird thing. In 1989, Martin Hayes scored 1 goal, PG.
I know.
And it was at Middlesbrough.
Yep, I know.
And if he hadn't got that goal, we don't win the title. So, you know, it's brilliant.
And do you know what? You know what I'm like with stats? That's the only thing I know. I knew it was Middlesbrough and I knew it was important. So the picture you've got up now is the same night I had the picture done with Rocastle. So we probably can work the year out. I still can't, but maybe Kev can. But look at the faces. Look who's there.
Yeah, John Lukic is there. So, So that's got to be latest is 1990.
No, it is 80s.
No, I think it's 89, 88, Kev.
88. Yeah, I think 87, 88.
Right.
Danny.
Probably
We need
18.
Danny.
But
Theo
what are they
Foley.
carrying?
88.
There's Theo Foley right there at
Yeah,
the front. Yes,
Theo.
you're right,
I've
Matt.
got a
Probably
picture
88.
of me and Theo. That's the night I've got a picture of me and Theo. I found all these, but I've also, and I will dig this out, 89, I was at the town hall and I knew the journalist that was on the ledge. That's my
Right.
picture that I've got on my phone. And I knew the journalist that was on the ledge, and he's got a picture of Rocky in his suit holding. I've got a big picture in the garage, and I will get it framed and put up. And it's fabulous. I've got some fabulous pictures of the boys that weren't in the papers or anything. And I've just had them, I need to get them reframed and put up. But it's just fabulous pictures. I haven't got it here, have I?
I love it. This one's taken. This is a proper photo from a photo. So this was a photo of from the photographer. But then I can't remember, a fan sent this into
That's one of my that's one of my favorite photos.
Yeah, I love this. This one,
at
right,
Highbury,
Kev?
at Highbury, celebrating, and you get an opportunity to celebrate with the home fans. I absolutely loved it. Home game, we've won the title, and you're going to celebrate after. Beautiful.
Yeah. So someone, Gigi Gooner saying Lukic left in 90. So I think that picture is, I think it's 87, 88, PG.
So that would make me, I was born
17,
in 69.
18,
which
19.
is what Kev said at the top of the show. Yeah.
18. Yeah, it would be, because I remember who I was with that night. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. And then the next lot that I've got for another show was with you at a different, with Alan Smith.
At a different do, yeah.
I went to a couple at the Empire Rooms. It was so funny in London.
Oh, the Empire Rooms. My cousin got married there.
My brother had his bar mitzvah there. Jeez, it was like the in place, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, look,
what it is now.
Is it even still a banquet suite? Probably not. I mean, I don't. And it went through a iteration of names, didn't it? It went from the Empire Rooms to, I don't even remember now, but it went through 4 or 5. But either way, I mean, from the Pink Elephant to the Winners Club to the Empire Rooms, that was it back in the day and stuff. I also wanted to put this picture up real quick of Anders and Rocky, Kev, because I know you're a huge fan of Anders Limpar. And for a lot of fans, Arsenal fans, he's a cult hero, Anders Limpar. I think we mentioned that on our a cult hero versus legend show. This is a great shot, no?
Yeah, of course it is. I think Anders Limpar sometimes needed an arm around him. And on the pitch, Rocky always wanted to protect Anders because he knew if there was any a weak link kind of physically, it was Anders. Because Anders was only slight. And opposition, as you saw at Manchester United when they went for Anders, they thought he was the soft touch. But he wasn't, because you see him, he threw a right-hander in that, didn't he? Give him a right crack, which was good.
I loved watching Limpar.
Super Swede. I mean, he really...
Super Swede.
Yeah.
And Rocky loved him, and Rocky knew anybody mess with you, Anders, I'm there. We loved him. Anybody who came into that group, we loved them.
All right. So, look, this is a beautiful celebration of an incredible person's life. I remember, PG, for me, I remember like... this look. I mean, I'm not being funny, but Rocky was he was so marketable too. Such a handsome guy, but he built,
very handsome.
Very super handsome. And he backed it up though with the talent. And him passing away in 2001 was way premature. But we live for these memories, seeing these moments, the goals that he scored, the glory days, and him here aligned with his brothers, celebrating all of the wonderful memories that you guys have given us, Kev. I mean, these are the moments, these are the times. And so we send a lot of love to the family. And Kev, if you haven't heard Handbrake Off yet, you need to check it out with Amy Lawrence and a bunch of other great Arsenal folks, where Kev was asked personally by the family to speak about Rocky as well. PG, I don't know if you've heard that yet, but I know it's on your list.
Not yet, haven't had time, but it will be. Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it. He's just a credit, and he is exactly. When you look at the pictures, I prefer the earlier ones in the 80s than that 91. I loved watching it. For me, it was my growing up years. I'd been to Arsenal
this is my
before.
favourite. This
Yeah.
is
I mean,
my
what
favourite.
year is that? Look at the top. I love that top.
He's wearing it's a Kev, it's a celebratory shirt.
Centenary.
Yes.
It's a centenary top.
Yes.
That
What's
is.
that? 86.
It's either 85 or 86.
Yeah. Just looking at the pictures of him at Highbury.
I think it's 85 actually. I think it's 85. Yeah.
But just looking at that, I mean, I was 16. I'm 51. And I'm
so
still
84, 85, yeah. Barry and
still
Matty
sitting here
saying,
talking about Rocky on our pitch at Highbury. That's how much he means. And it's really interesting because we've got some very young viewers, and I wonder how they feel because they weren't even born.
We talk like this,
he wasn't even born. And, there's the three of us here. Obviously, that man below played with him and alongside him, and I watched him, and Sophie did as well. And I wonder how it feels. I wonder if they're enjoying this conversation because it's like us listening to someone from the 60s or the 50s, and I find it fascinating. My dad's favourite player is Geordie Armstrong. Well, I never saw Geordie play. But when he talks about him, I'm so interested. And obviously being friends with his daughter on Twitter is fabulous. And seeing all the old pictures.
Listen, I'll tell you something. Rocky and Geordie got on like a house on fire. Because
that's lovely.
Geordie wasn't at the club for a bit, and then Geordie came in. Okay, Geordie came in and was looking after the reserves, and Geordie absolutely loved Rocky because I think Geordie saw in Rocky what was in him. Do you know what I mean? They're both wide. They're both players who were Arsenal crazy. Rocky was Arsenal mad, but Rocky was a London boy who Geordie could see that Rocky was the glue. He got on with everybody, but he always referred to Rocky like the likes of Neil Heaney and all these guys. Listen, you need to speak to this guy. Watch this guy. Watch Rocky. Watch how Rocky plays. And Rocky will turn around to them and say, no, you should be getting videos or any footage of Geordie because Geordie's the standard bearer. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, there was a lot of loving going on. Geordie was a tremendous man.
Well, we're going to be doing a ton of stuff on Geordie and the 71 double winning team come May, celebrating 50 years. I'm going to be 50. I was born in 71.
Yay.
So it's a great year.
Yeah,
guys.
Well, and we're going to get my dad on.
Yes,
my dad is finally going to be on this show to celebrate 71 because, like me at Anfield, he was there at 71 at all the matches and Tottenham, and he tells some. Honestly, he tells some stories that you're gonna love. You are, especially about Tottenham 71.
So here's a comment that I love. GD, you're right. So tired of hearing about Man United and Liverpool's history and how they're the greatest clubs. Here's the scoop, though. They've won more than us because of the European angle, and they've won a lot of domestic trophies too. But when it comes to the next wave, Arsenal are right in there and right up there. Kev, would you agree? I mean, Chelsea have done a lot in the new time under Abramovich. They went 50 years without a trophy. Arsenal Football Club, pioneers from yesteryear. And not winning the Premier League's hurt our legacy for some modern fans.
It's hurting us big time, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And this is why we want look whether you like Mikel Arteta or you don't, you want us to have a squad who can challenge. That's the key. We need a squad who can challenge. And the most important thing is we're London. We're not up north. Mm-hmm. We're always battling against them Northerners, right? But when it's London, it's always harder to win the title because you've got so many London derbies. You know, Liverpool have only got a couple of derbies. Man United have only got a few derbies. But Arsenal, you got 5, 6, 7 at times derbies. That's 14 games out of your season. London derbies, and you know what it's like in London. It's fierce to get a win against each other. So it's always harder for the teams in London to do it. Chelsea, obviously, they've kicked on since they've got Abramovich's dough. But Arsenal's that constant, that club who's been there. We've got a noisy neighbour and we douse them with water, don't we? We spray them with water, keep them quiet. Yeah.
And look,
So,
here's a newbie right here, Kev. Look, Jeff Allen. I became an Arsenal fan this year. Thank you for informing of the history of our great club.
welcome, Jeff.
Absolutely love this. And yes, it's important to know the history, the pedigree, and all of the things that we've enjoyed in the past. So here's how we move on from here. So it's Wednesday Wisdom today. We're sharing our wisdom and I don't know,
And
from the past and reminiscing.
Yeah.
And, enjoying stuff like this. I love whoever did this, Kev. Credit to them. I'd love to give them credit. We'll find that. But so here's the thing, because I wanted the kind of turnkey, the juxtaposition to all this is we've gone down memory lane. We've talked about the great memories, David Rocastle, what he means to the club 20 years on. And now we're going into the last 8 games of the season.
8 weeks.
Really?
8 weeks of the season.
Weeks?
Yes.
God, is that
it? That's it.
This is it, 3
guys.
months of a summer.
This is we're going to have the Euros.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we've got the Euros.
We've got the Euros, and we're going to have the Europa League final.
Yeah, which we better be in.
So 200 plus of you in live chat right now. Okay. And what I wanted to turn to is look at the history, the pedigree, the stories we have to tell, the memories we get to look back on, the nostalgia. We've got the great Kevin Campbell here, who's able to share those insider stories. PG, who, as we said, has been thrown over the turnstiles by Kelvin. I mean, today's world, you'd be looked up for that, Mr. Lewis. I'm just saying. But
we break his back if it was now.
Yeah, right. So here's where we want to go with this. We want to talk about 8 weeks left, you guys. What's the best advice we can give to each other as Arsenal fans? What is the best advice you, the squaddies, everyone in chat, the newbies, the oldies, everyone who's joined us, 3 pieces of advice you would give
Number
Arsenal
one
fans? Kev, you get everyone started.
Number one, you got to listen to the Highbury squad.
Listen,
they're on.
Number 2, you got to press like.
They're on. And if you hate Tottenham, hit the like button. Right? If you hate them, hit the like button.
Yeah, and if you don't hate them.
The number one thing I'm going to say is get yourself strapped in, because you know what this team's going to do to us. We're going to go on the roller coaster. Get yourself strapped in and get yourself mentally ready for the ride. I'm telling you, get ready.
I love it. PG, Newman's first one is yours too. Subscribe to the Highbury squad. Are you sticking with that one?
Yeah, but I have got 3 surprisingly.
Okay, let's do 3. And GD's though is
Kev,
you've got everyone rolling on that. All right, PG, what is your we grilled PG in our WhatsApp group, so she went home and did some homework. Where's your notepad? Show us your notepad.
By the way,
it's
Sophie,
actually on my phone.
Sophie, by the way, Sophie.
Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking about getting these T-shirts and all that done. We all need to have a little chat when we finish this, because I've got an idea.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
I'm having the one that says chuck the chicken sink at it. That's the one I'm having.
Throw the chicken sink at it. Yeah.
Chicken sink. That's the best one.
Right. So for me,
yes.
Number 1, you thought it gave me a clue, but it would have been my one anyway, is definitely trust the process, because that's what I do. Every game. And I say every game, we could win, lose or draw. I'm still fully behind Arteta. Do I question some of his subs occasionally? Of course. But generally, and I really wish we didn't have the Interdole, but we have. I just feel that we are a work in progress. And to get rid of him now would be absolutely ludicrous. So buckle up, people.
Okay, John Hill's with you on your first one there. Kev, what's your first piece of advice?
I've already given it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, number 2. What's your first one, Soph?
Okay. My first one is don't panic.
I was going to say don't trust the process.
No. That's my last one. No, not really.
Yeah.
My first one is don't panic. After the international break, it could be, it's Liverpool. It might not go according to plan. Don't panic. PG, your second one.
What one shall I choose?
Look, now she's all like, which one should I choose?
I know,
Kim?
I have so many. Right, my second
Only
one is.
people could have seen our WhatsApp.
I know. I honestly had no clue. I wasn't even being awkward. I was like, I don't understand. I was working at the time. Right. Okay. Patience, 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 which is similar to the don't panic thing. I have got a lot of my Liverpool friends thinking they're going to get stuffed on Saturday night, but they do need to realise they're playing us. And you have no idea. Life is a roller coaster being a Gooner. Look, we do rely heavily on our young players. And I just feel that we just need to be a bit patient. Sometimes I think it's great that the fans aren't there so they don't get the abuse. Then the second time I think, no, we should be there to encourage them because we would. And I wonder how it would have gone. But every club can say that because no one's had any fans in. You know, the kids are going to make mistakes. They are. But we need to be behind them because we have got some fantastic kids. Oh, my God, we have. And let's just support them on their journey. And it's our responsibility to support them.
I love it. I like Keith's don't panic, trust the process, and broke the neck. He's got all three in one. Good one, Pinky. I like that. I like that a lot. Kev, what's your second piece of advice?
My second piece of advice is just like this man here. Just like this man here. You gotta be positive. We got to be positive. That's the team and the fan base. You say don't panic. I say let's be positive. We got a lot of games that are winnable, right? And you know me, I've stuck my neck on there for it to get broke. I want 24 points. That's what I want minimum.
PG,
right?
did you see that show? Did you?
No, but I keep hearing about this.
Listen, I've gone for 24 points. I want 24 points. So
the neck.
I've got the numbers right here, PG.
Yeah. So look,
numbers on my pad.
we've got to be positive about all this, and I think the break's not a bad thing. We come back, we consolidate, and then we push on for that last push to the end. And we made a massive difference when we restarted last season, didn't we? Remember, we lost against City, we lost against Brighton, and then we went on a run.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more of the same, please, without the losses, please.
All right.
That would
right.
and take a cup. Hold on, it's Sophie's.
I'm gonna read a few of these.
I want you to read John Healy's or.
I'm going to read a few out right now. So let's see.
South London Squaddies said we better win the Europa. You're right.
Stefan says he's saying we better be high up the table or he's not going to watch for 3 years. Stefan, come on. You know you're going to watch. We all say
you can't keep away, Stefan.
Can I read?
You read only one piece of advice. Chill out. You support a great club. It'll all be grand. Thoroughly enjoyable show, guys. Thank you so much. PG, which one do you have to read out after Demsek? Just had a quick power failure. Are we on advice to Arsenal fans? Yes, go on, PG.
We are. Yeah, we are.
What are you going to read out?
I love Paul Healy's one because I love a good sense of humour. He's put mute genus whenever he's on TV.
Yeah. That's the one I was trying. Here we go.
Come on, Squaddies. We want the funny ones now.
There you go. Mute genius.
Yeah, love that.
George says, if you panic, your hair goes grey. So my advice is ask Arteta for his hair dye. LOL. Demsek wants to remind Casey about his point, as does Johnny Boy.
Said that. You don't listen, Johnny Boy and Demsek. You don't need to remind me. I am fully for the 24 points. Don't worry about that.
Kev, this one's less advice, but more like getting in with you. Kev, we need you in the stadium, whipping up the crowd when we're back in. Positivity. My second, I like this. Pray for no injuries. That's a good one. Curtis Shaw. Hello, Curtis. Welcome to Curtis. The Highbury squad.
Yes,
win the Euro for all we riot.
Where are we going to riot, Curtis? Where? Can I come on your riot? I'm 51 and I've never rioted in my life.
Maybe we should just get Curtis on the show and we can have a riot, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, it'd be a good guest, Curtis. A lovely guy.
Totally. And South South
Go on.
London's finest. What was it you found earlier up there? Did I miss it? Because he did post something, but here we go.
South London's finest. We better win the Euro.
So he and Curtis are going to have a riot.
One of our squaddies, Kev, has said if we get 24 points, he's buying you a new dicky bow.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, there we go.
We're back at 24 points.
Yeah.
We're back
Oh, it's Matty. I didn't realise it was Matty.
It's Matty K who survived the ban.
Go on, Kev. And it all starts with the Liverpool game. That's what it all starts for us.
We can't talk about that Friday night. We're going to talk about
Let's get to that last one.
It all starts with that.
I'm getting excited now.
Yeah,
what day is it, by the way?
Wednesday, man. Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. So I'm honestly no clue. Like Thursday tomorrow. That's when I start getting excited for the weekend.
What? Did the Hoover wake me up? Yes, I'm having a bad hair day. For fuck's sake, leave me alone. Crikey.
I can't believe it just stands up. It's fantastic.
Let's put it down. There we go. All right, PG, what's your last one?
Right. Okay. So what I will say is obviously whatever league position we're in, do not panic and do not go at Arteta. No one else. I'm giving him the whole season next year. That's it for me. I'm not judging him in October, November, January. I'm going to judge him May 2022, I think. Yeah, 2022. Yeah. That's what I'm prepared to do. And I think
South London's finest riot.
Yeah. Can you imagine us rioting?
We know riot.
Like this.
What are you going to say to HB, PG? Because HB, PG.
I think he does it for attention.
Come on,
I think he's an attention seeker, young HB, because you knew she was going to put that up. And you knew that I'd have to counteract that.
He's playing the game, and
you're going on the naughty step because we have to support our manager through thick and thin. I feel he's going in the right direction. That's my opinion. And I think he's fully supported by the club and, most importantly, fully supported by the players.
Yes.
And that is the most important thing. He has not lost the dressing room. They respect him. When he told Aubameyang off, Aubameyang's come back and he's still big smiles and,
dodgy hair, but yeah, go on. His hair's worse than mine. Let's just say.
A great, team spirit,
He's got it braided now, isn't he? He's got it braided now.
Dodgy man.
Braided now, I think.
Look at Mars Gunner saying, now. I'm giving you agony aunt.
What is that about? About what, though, exactly? If you can explain, I don't know what the agony aunt advice is.
Oh, jeez.
We all need to be zen at the end of the season, regardless.
Yes, we do.
We're rioting.
Zen for what? What are we going to be zen for?
Started a riot.
Wherever we finish, Kev, we've got to just go, okay, it's been a pandemic. He's not had a pre-season. We've got to have a summer transfer window.
Our league position isn't going to matter if we win the Europa.
No. I'd rather come 15th and win the Europa. Who cares?
No, but you understand what I mean? All focus really is that Europa, but we still have to do the business. And listen, I want 24, but I want a new dicky bowl, for God's sake.
Yeah, you know what? We're all going to wear, me
bowl.
And Sophie will wear dicky bows to one. If we win the Europa, we'll dress like you.
My third.
I do. I have done. And Vinny Vieira has
done that.
Catch up.
I've never worn one.
Also,
I wear it.
I do think Rob needs to wind up here because he's just trying to get you guys. Go on,
Here's my third.
Go on.
My third is the fans have a big part to play with the support that they give. None of this 1 minute I'm with you, next minute I'm against you. No, it's the last knockings there. This is the business end of the season. Got to support the team, guys. A bit of positivity, but the support is going to be really important. There might be times where we're under pressure. Let's keep the support going because the players do need it. They really do. That's my third.
Okay, my gravy train for Arteta stops in October. Okay, because the new season we now know is going to start in August, right, Kev?
Yep. That's right.
And he would have had the summer transfer market. Now, with the Euros sandwiched in between, it creates a different pickle because I'm pretty sure the club, he and Adu were planning for that last summer, Kev. But of course, because of COVID and the pandemic, everything's shifted. Everything's moved forward. And I don't care what anyone says, whether you agree or disagree like Arteta or not. but shifting strategic goals and objectives over a year does have significant implications in terms of your overall plan. But the good news is supposedly he and Edu have been planning the summer transfer window since December. Mm-hmm. So I give him until October. So my advice is going to be, and I can't believe it's going to come out of my mouth, but it is, even if we finish in the bottom half of the table, which I'm starting to think we won't, but if we do finish in the bottom half of the table, and if we do not win the Europa League, I would still give him the summer transfer window until October. And I've been consistent about this and said this on this show many, many times. But come October, if we're 10th, he's got to go. So
the samurai's coming out.
I've got no comment.
I ripped it out of
because Arsenal could have a crap 3 months and then they could go on a run and then just bring it all back. You've got to give it to the end of the season.
No, not next season. Not next season.
Thank you.
Not next season.
What do you mean not next season?
You've just said we could have a crap run of 3 months. No, we can't.
Yeah.
Not next season. We can't.
No. We could, and then we could bring it back and have an amazing 4 months.
We can't.
We can't. We've had.
We might.
That's what we've done. That's what we've done this season.
Okay, well, Kev says we could.
I'm not brainwashed.
Hey, remember, Kev says, right?
We're not on Kev says. That's why I don't come on it.
I'm saying Kev says we've done all that this season. We've had the bad.
Man says
we've had the bad half of season.
I know.
This season. If he's going to be bringing players in, it has to be better next season. Of
course.
So so there's no. So that for me, remember, not you talking. For me, there can be no bad start next season.
I agree.
Got to hit the ground running.
I agree, and I've said that consistently. I'm willing to do that. Like, get him a few more plays that he needs to have the image of the team in his coaching image and his personality and his character, like every good coach does and is able to do. I think it's time to, like, are you going to get rid of Xhaka? Are you going to move on El Neni? Are you going to move on Chambers? Does he stay now? They've all been at the club way too long. Turnkey, let's refresh, reboot, revitalize, and go. And if we are still in the same position come October after another round of investment, that, if you look at the Solskjaer Man United model, worked for them, second now, okay? It hasn't worked out for them in Europe, in the Champions League, even though they qualified. They're still in the Europa League. They can win it. They're still in the FA Cup, I believe. So you've got to look at that model.
They're out the FA Cup.
Oh, they got knocked out, right? Thanks, Kev. Leicester knocked them out. So you still have to look and see their progression. They're second in the league. You can say they've been crap, but they're still there. So that's why I give him till October.
Okay, but I'm just reading a couple of the comments, and Dempsec said the same as what I've said. What happens if we have a mediocre 3 months and then all of a sudden we take off?
No. Listen, I'm just saying we can't have a mediocre 3 months. Not anymore.
Correct.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I think we need a new segment that says "Man says."
Well, we tried to do that.
We tried to do that, but you didn't show up for it.
I didn't show up. I need an appointment.
You're too busy, PG. You're busy lady. You're a busy lady.
Busy lady.
No, but the point is that, like, let's say he gets the partner for Thomas Partey. Let's say we bring in a new striker, whether we bring in a right back. If we do get left cover for Tierney, another CB, then the team is, everyone keeps telling me, well, look how great we've been since January. Well, since January, he got rid of the click and he got rid of the Kolasinacs and the Ozils and the Squaddies. I don't put into that bucket as much, but the Mustafis of the world, but they're all gone and none of them were great for the last few seasons. And our form has turned. So you ask yourself, okay, I'll listen to you. I've listened to a lot of Arsenal key informers and fans. The season starts in August, though, but I'm willing to listen to say, okay, since January and since those players have gone, we've evolved. So let's see what he can do with a total team in his image from the summer onwards. But if it gets to October, November, and we're still 10th in the Premier League,
He's going to be under massive
What
pressure.
happens if we're 9th or 8th?
Still not good enough.
Okay. So he can be sacked after what? He's got to be 5th, 4th?
He's got to be. We cannot afford to start the season the same way we did this season.
Yeah, I think it's about results. The results, I mean, losing to Burnley and losing to some of the teams we lost to at the Emirates. You know, we nearly lost 5 on the bounce. That's not Arsenal. I think the key is, you know, the games that we should win, we've got to win them.
Yeah,
that's the key.
I agree.
Why are some people in chat talking about Kroenke? Listen, you guys. Stop. I mean, Kroenke's given us plenty of money to spend. Do we want more money? Of course. Has he been the best owner? No. But we've spent some money over the last few years. Just go look it up. Google Arsenal transfer funds. Exactly. But now we have people in place, hopefully, who won't squander it. So hence, are we going to do the right thing? Are we going to move forward? Are we going to see progression in the Premier League? Not the FA Cup, not Europa League, but in the Premier League. And I tell you another thing. We need European football. We need it.
We've got European football.
Next season, it's not guaranteed, PG.
No, true. But I'm with Demsek tonight. He says, if we're 6th, okay, but 7th is out. Exactly my point. We have to see the games and how it's going. I don't want him out anyway.
No, what I said was if we're in the same league position, you can't be 10th and 11th and be Arsenal Football Club and be in that position again in October in the Premier League. You just can't.
If it all goes for him and we got no injuries and we get a good summer window, then yeah, I sort of agree with. Of course, we have to play better and not lose these stupid games and not start how we did to West Ham and stuff like that. But we have to wait and see. Let's get party fit, properly fit.
Well, I think that's everyone's wise wisdom. It's been a great Wednesday wisdom. We had to push our Wednesday women's show to next week. We wanted to honor Rocky, and Lindsay Hooper's going to join us next Wednesday, you guys, for the launch of our Wednesday women's show. So we look forward to that. I have one more thing for you guys before we go. All right. Are you ready?
I've got a bonus I want to chuck.
Oh, you got a Brucey bonus.
Oh, I'm surprised PG didn't say this isn't Kevin Says, but go on, Kev. You get to do whatever you want today.
The one player that has to turn up for us to win is Aubameyang. Aubameyang has to turn up now.
Yeah.
We're at the business end of the season. The season's been poor for him, but if he's the main guy. He has to turn up now.
This guy's got to turn up, PG. This guy
really does. Yeah.
Right here. He's got to turn up. I tell you, someone who did turn up for the Arsenal. Stop.
Oh.
Stop it. Stop it, you guys.
6:45.
6:45.
Is there any tickets left?
We're not allowed to buy one, but let me just say.
Can someone buy it for me?
Get family members to pick one up for you, PG.
Look at that.
Yeah. 6:45. Are you serious?
6:45 for a chance to win that. I'll tell you what.
And it's signed and framed and beautiful. Look at it. Go to Football Prizes, everyone. They don't have many tickets left, I don't think. So
no, that'll go quick. Jeez.
We've had a couple of winners, haven't we, in the hybrid squad?
I love how you point things out. It's premium. Thierry Henry is worth more than Kieran Tierney. I mean, this is facts. Thierry Henry is going to be 6:45. Kieran Tierney might be 4.95. But we appreciate you bringing that up, Newman. The most important facts that Newman's brings up to us as well. So listen, go to Football Prizes, get your ticket now, because even the free ticket's not happening till Thursday night. And I'm telling you, you don't want to wait for that. I'm just giving you a tip because there's only a few left. And Thierry Henry's shirt is going to sell like hotcakes. Right, listen, you guys. What a great show. Absolutely brilliant. Love that we can all be together again tonight for a special tribute to David Rocky Rocastle, to share our wisdom with Arsenal fans. They've shared theirs with us too. And sorry.
Is it Newman? She calls him problems again.
Honestly, you got no respect, Newman. You're going on the naughty step.
Oh my God. One of our listeners in Australia, fantastic listener who sent us a lovely letter, said, I invited him to come onto our fan forum and he said, listen, I can't keep up with Newman. And I'm like, listen, it's not just Newman. You've got to keep up with Matty K, Taib, Taisha, Amesy, all the squaddies. So
Bernie.
he's going to think about it. Yeah, absolutely. GD, FIFA boy Darren, Stefan,
Zamir,
listen, all
Johnny Boy, the lot.
Absolutely. All of our regular listeners and to all the new listeners as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Mars Gunner, who's very funny.
Yeah. And Demsek, who's your new favourite, apparently.
My new favourite.
Right?
Every time I look at Demsek's comments, I go,
and we can't forget Johnny Boy.
Good to see Curtis. It's good to see Curtis. It's good to see Curtis watching us as well.
I need to go on Curtis's show. I tell you, it'd be funny.
Let's get Curtis on our show.
Yeah.
Let's get Curtis on our show.
Yeah, Curtis. Well, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Listen, guys, a brilliant show tonight. Wonderful things. What would you like to end with, Kev? Before we close the show,
I've done my bit. I've done my bonus. Just this man here. You know, the last knockings of this man, Rocky. We love you, mate. Absolutely love you.
Beautiful.
Never forgotten.
And I just love hearing your stories, and from your stories to the fan stories, you know, PG, everybody, the community. It's just wonderful. I love that nostalgia always brings us back together, and memories are a beautiful thing to share. So thanks everyone for listening last night. We did a little bit of Rocky last night. We paid homage and said some wonderful things, you guys too, and also to Claude, who was a very important part in the community for a lot of people. And tonight, just real special stuff. So PG.
Okay, thanks everyone. Lovely show, as Sophie and Kev said. It's been really enjoyable reading your comments, talking about Kev's stories with Rocky. Lovely idea. And don't panic. That's the most important thing about our end of season. So I'm sure these two will see you tomorrow night. I'll be back Friday.
We are. We're going to be back with Kevin Hatchard tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss it. Brilliant journalist. We're going to talk about our targets in Europe tomorrow night with Kevin Hatchard. So he's just a brilliant journalist. Yes.
8:00 tomorrow night, I'm assuming. Come and join these two and Kevin Hatchard. So I always end with Always Arsenal, but tonight I'm going to end with Always Rocky.